Hey, Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shabbat, all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Thaba Shem, Yahweh Shad, all the sisters. We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And what we teach is that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the lost 12 tribes of the nation of Israel according to the Bible, according to history, and according to archaeology. We are not affiliated with any other Israelite groups. If it's not of the ISUPK under Commander General Yohana, then you are not in the truth. If you have any questions, go ahead and type them in the chat. And if we got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat. And while you're at it, go ahead and make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Alright, Shalom, Brother Thomas. Shalom, Trey Davis. Checking in from Greenville, Most High in Christ. Alright, and like I said earlier, if you got any questions, go ahead and type them into the chat.
Is this super bright? It's super big. That looks like a real look. This is
Alright, Shalom. Shalom. See, how do you know Hispanics and blacks are in the Bible? Okay. Let's see, how you know the Hispanics and blacks are in the Bible? All right, so I'm guessing that you're asking, like, I guess, how can we prove that blacks and Hispanics are in the Bible, or specifically, I guess, are you asking how can you tell in the Bible that they are Israelites? But there's many scriptures proving that blacks and Hispanics are in the Bible. For one, if you look at the prophecies written in the Bible in Deuteronomy 28, if you look at those curses that it was said that were going to go on the children of Israel, then those curses are traits that only, hold on, say not saying they're not, no sweat. I understand that you're not saying that they're not in the Bible. You're just looking for, what scriptures to go to be able to prove that blacks and Hispanics are the ones that the Lord is talking about when he's talking about the children of Israel. All right. So bear with me 1 second, and I'll go ahead and get those scriptures for you. All right. So to prove that blacks and Hispanics are in the Bible, you're gonna want to go to we have a whole breakdown that breaks down Deuteronomy 28 that explains that shows you that blacks and Hispanics are the only ones who embody these traits that are written in Deuteronomy 28. You understand? And so, for starters, I'll go ahead and to lay the foundation. I'm gonna start at Deuteronomy 28 and 15. Well, matter of fact, we're gonna go to Deuteronomy 28 and 1. Deuteronomy 28 and 1 says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that Yahweh thy power will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. So this covenant that everybody who studies the Bible, Christians hear about the first covenant, the old covenant and whatever, this is the covenant right here. These are the terms and conditions of the covenant that God gave to the children of Israel. You understand? This is that covenant right here. What all the Christians say was torn up and done away with. You understand? Like, this is the covenant. These are the terms and conditions for it, right? So it says, he says, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments, you understand? Then the Lord said he was going to set the children of Israel on high above all the nations of the earth. You understand? And so, now the question is, did the children of Israel keep the law, statutes, and commandments? No. Because if the children of Israel did, then that's who would rule the earth today. You understand? Not the so-called white man or our oppressor. You understand? It'll be, the Lord's kingdom on earth. It'll be kingdom come. You understand? It'll be heaven on earth if that was the case. But that's not the case. Like in Job it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. The reason why it's given into the hand of the wicked is because the 12 tribes of Israel turned their backs on the Most High. You understand? Now, he says that if we keep the commandments, he was going to set us on high. Well, let's see what's going to happen if they didn't keep the commandments. Because obviously that's what happened, because the children of Israel do not sit on high above all nations of the earth today. You understand? So skip down to verse 15. It says, but, hold on 1 second. Verse 15, it says, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So right here, the Most High is telling the children of Israel that if you don't keep the commandments, which I command thee this day, that all these curses was going to come upon you. You understand? Said all these curses. So when you read from Deuteronomy 16 all the way to verse 68, then all of these are the curses that the Lord said that he was going to put on the children of Israel. You understand? To if they chose not to keep the Most High's commandments. You understand? So we're going to read a couple of them. We're going to read a couple of them. You understand? Deuteronomy 28 and 32. This is a real heavy one right here. You understand? Because all you got to do is look at these curses. Look at the curses that's written in this Bible. You understand? When you read this story, this section right here, Deuteronomy 28, then what you see is something that was written 4,000 years ago
Hey, just drive it off.
that applies to a people today in 2020. You understand? So 28 and 32, it reads, hold on 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Y'all gotta break my shoe.
All right, so we're going to start at verse Deuteronomy 28 and 28. All right? So 28 and 28, it says, Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You understand? Verse 29 says, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. You understand? So I like to go to this scripture right here because it's a real heavy point to bring out. You understand? So the children of Israel are going to be cursed by the Lord. Whoever God's children are, they're going to be cursed by the Lord. And this is one of the curses. It says, Yahweh shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. So the first thing I want you to do is think about a nation of people right now on this earth that for some reason they are smitten with madness and blindness. You understand? Think about the conditions of all the people on the earth. And think about that. Madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. Think about the Chinese man. Is he smitten with blindness? Does he feel like he's lost in the world? Is he even in a position to feel lost in the world? You understand? Or what about the Arab man? You understand? Are any people on this earth in the condition to be like this? But I will say this, the only people that could be in the condition to be smitten with blindness and madness and astonishment of heart is a people who's had their heritage taken from them. You understand? Who've had everything that they knew about who they were, where they come from, was taken from them. That is madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. You understand? And it says, and thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. And thou shalt be only oppressed and spoiled evermore. And no man shall save thee. So think about this. You understand? Think about what people on the earth have been oppressed continuously. You understand? What people on the earth are getting oppressed? The Chinese man in his own land, what people is oppressing him? You understand? The African man, he in his own land. What people are oppressing the African? You understand? Are there East Indian police officers ruling over in France? You understand? Think about that. What group of people on this earth is being oppressed? You understand? So now we're going to read on. It says, and no man shall save thee. So let me ask you a question. What group of people on this earth get oppressed and nobody says a word about it? When the African, here's the part that tripped me out, right? This would trip me out. This used to boggle my mind when I was in the world. Being in the truth, now I understand. You understand? But being in the world, I never could wrap my mind around this. On how in Africa, you can have people starving in Africa. You understand? And they show you the saddest commercial on TV of kids starving in Africa. You understand? And it pulls so much emotion from people that they want to help the people, that they're driven to help the people that are in Africa, that are in Somalia, that are in Ethiopia, and all these other places. They call them third world countries. You understand? But yet, You can have. I lived in Washington D.C. Grew up in Washington D.C. And in Washington D.C., you actually will see homeless children on the street. It was a common thing. It's a common thing in Washington D.C. You understand? It's a common thing in many cities on the earth. You understand? In New York, Atlanta, Chicago, L.A., St. Louis. You understand? But nobody even puts out a flyer to help feed them other than the men in the ISUPK. You understand? So if you look at all the people on this earth, who cares about black people? Because the world cares about the African man. The world cares about the white man. The world cares about the Chinese man, the Japanese man, the East Indian man. You understand? They put one of them up on the TV and everybody just throwing money at the TV. You understand? But when it comes to a black man in America, our own leaders don't even care about us. You understand? So who other than black people went through this, go through this every day, been oppressed for 400 years? What group other than black people, you understand, has gone through these things? Now I skip down to verse 32. It says, and thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. You understand? Think about that. Think about this, right? If we look at 2020, black people and Hispanic people still go through this right here today. Now, we started going through it during slavery. 1492, when Columbus and them showed up. You understand? Them colonists came and was taking their children. You understand? Our oppressor, when he came over here, when they would invade another tribe, they would take the children from the tribe and put them in what I guess it would be like what's considered a public school today. You understand? And they would take the children, make them cut their hair, dress like a white boy, wear suits and ties, everything against their original culture. And they would teach them history. They would teach them the same American history that you learn in high school and middle school is the same American history that they teach on the Native Indian reservations. You understand? And so now, fast forward 2020, Hispanic brothers and sisters, there was a huge fight going on with them. You understand, that nobody in the world cared about. You understand? Nobody in the world cared about what was going on at the border. You understand? I used to pull, a lot of people, brothers, know that I do a lot of the graphics and flyers and things like that for the school. And some of the flyers, some of the times when I put together graphics and things like that, I oftentimes, spend most of the time doing designs, looking up pictures on the internet. That's what takes up majority of the time, is finding the elements to use to make a design. And so oftentimes I would use images from the border, or what they call it, the ice. I just say concentration camps, for lack of better words, the FEMA camps. They would put these people in the FEMA camps, and these brothers and sisters, they would be in one pod, and then their children would be in another pod. So there's people in these camps. There was brothers and sisters in these camps that would be in there a year, 2 years, 3 years, and hadn't seen their children, and their children right down the hallway in another cage. You understand? So it says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people. That's going on. That's happening in the Hispanics right now. Not only that, but it's countless sisters right now who are fighting for their children right now because of some bogus, one of the things I notice is going on right now. I tell people this all the time. You understand that when you see our oppressors moving in the ghetto, that's a scary thing. And I tell you why. Because them oppressors, when they be in the ghetto, when they move into black neighborhoods, here's the difference between black people and our oppressor. A black man can hear a lot of noise going on outside, a lot of hooping and hollering, and nobody throws a punch. You understand? Because the black man understands that, you know, that they just being rowdy outside. Ain't nothing crazy going on. You understand? It's like they can tell, you know, you understand? They can tell, we can tell when each other is about to be something that's about to go down. The same way our oppressor can tell when they get upset, when they mean business, and as they like to call it. You understand? But in the black community, you understand, we see that as normal. We see that as just being rowdy. But to our oppressor moving into the neighborhood, they see this and they think, oh, it puts fear in their heart, and their first instinct is to call the cops. You understand? Their first instinct is to call the cops. You understand? And oftentimes what a lot of them do is they'll call the cops and just make stuff up. They'll call the cops and say you selling drugs out the house. They'll call the cops and say that you fighting dogs behind your house. You understand? They'll call and say anything they want to the police. You understand? And it's a lot of sisters right now that know what I'm talking about. You understand? And with a lot of times what's starting to happen is a lot of sisters are getting their children, you know, social services to come knock on the door, and next thing you know, they got court orders to separate the children from the home. So it's a lot of sisters right now just for all types of bogus reasons that are losing their children, you understand, and their children being taken from them through child services. You understand? So that's happening right now at an all-time high. You understand? At an all-time high. You understand? So, you know, these is all things that we still go through today. You know, is our oppressor, is his children being taken? What time in history were their children taken and given into another people? You understand? Because we got countless movies about what happened to black people. You understand? I mean, you know, now, you know, there's not many movies showing what happened to the Native Indian. Not a lot of movies that show what happened to the Hispanic brothers and sisters. But there's tons of movies about what happened to the black man in America. You understand? It used to burn my soul every Saturday when we used to go down there in Charleston, and we used to speak right in front of the old slave house. You understand? It used to burn. I used to burn inside because I knew that less than 20 feet away from me, they used to take children out of mothers' arms and sell them like a pair of Nike Air Force Ones. You understand? Like a pair of Reebok Classics. You understand? And then sell the wife to some other guy, and sell the husband to somebody else. That whole family just ripped apart. You understand? That happened to black people. Show me a time in history where that happened to the Chinese man. Show me a time in history where that happened to the African man. You understand? Show me what time in history. I could be wrong. Just show me the proof. Show it to me. You understand? Because it ain't happened. And if it has happened, it hasn't happened on the extent that it's happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. Because it's been happening to us for 400 years. You understand? And I'm going to read on. It says, and thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. You understand? It says, thine eyes going to look and fail with longing for them all the day long. I can't imagine what it's like to lose custody of a child. You understand? The brother Shaw says, sold separately, some sold cheap too. And he right. He right. You understand? Can you imagine? Think about that. Think about what Shaw said. What Shaw said was real heavy. You understand? What Officer Shaw said was heavy. Think about this, right? Think about how you treat your own stuff. You understand? Think about how if you got an ink pen, that you paid $50 for,
No, it's going to.
and you got an ink pen that you got for free at a hotel that you stayed at. You understand? Think about that, right? Now, think about how much care you would give to the $50 pen. How you worried about losing the $50 pen. You understand? But the cheap pen, the one that was the throwaway, the one that was thrown away so much that it was threw away to you. You understand? The throwaway. You understand? So cheap mean you like the throwaway slave. You understand? Meaning that if you say one word, that if I don't like your accent, you understand? I'm just gonna hang you. I'm just gonna feed you to alligators. You understand? So cheap, I'm just gonna use you as gator bait. I'm gonna put you in a cage and throw you out into the bayou and see if I can catch me a gator. We're gonna try to catch us an alligator. You understand? That's what you do with cheap stuff. You understand? That's what fishing lures ain't expensive. A box of worms ain't expensive. You don't go out and spend $1,000 on a box of worms. You pay like $1.50. You understand? Think about it. You understand? So what he said was heavy. Some of us were sold cheap. I can't imagine what the ones who were sold cheap. The slaves down in Charleston was probably sold cheap because of the conditions they had to work in. You understand? The slaves down in Charleston, I went to one of the plantations down there. You understand? I walked the whole plantation. And I even got to the part where I didn't stay out there long, but I got to the part where you can see the whole what they grew out in Charleston, South Carolina. That was one of the first places the first place that slaves were brought in the transatlantic slave trade was Charleston, South Carolina. That was where the first slave arrived in America. And the reason why they sought slaves in the first place was because down in Charleston, they wanted to, the land in Charleston isn't like a lot of land. It's a lot of like marshland. It's a whole lot of that. And so the thing that you can grow the most in that type of land is rice. And that's what they grew in Charleston, South Carolina. They grew what was called Carolina Gold, which was a big yellow rice kernel. You understand? And they sold this big yellow rice, and it was called Carolina Gold. And in the rice, it's the way it looked. It didn't look like a swamp. Well, I've never been to a swamp, but I'm guessing this is a swamp. But it's almost like a river that's just low enough for part of the land to come up in the middle, and for certain vegetation to grow in the middle. And what they used to grow out there was rice, because rice grows. That's the best place to grow rice. Rice can grow wild in an environment like that. So, but the thing is that you had to stand out in the river sometimes 8, 10, 12, 13, 14 hours a day picking rice. You understand? And so picking and growing rice. And so the thing is, the crazy thing about it is, the most dangerous part about it was doing the job itself. Because standing out there, the first thing you got to worry about is the alligators. There's alligators that lived out in the marshland. They had a spider that lived out in the marshland. It would crawl in through the rice. It was very, very common. You had water moccasins, rattlesnakes. You understand? And they said, and these environment was so dangerous for them to work in that the life expectancy of a slave in Charleston was 25. Say, you heard about the man that got killed running? You talking about what's that brother's name? Walter Scott. He had on a green polo shirt. Walter Scott was killed because he had a warrant for child support, for unpaid child support. You understand? And I bring his name up every time I talk to a black woman that talk about putting a baby daddy on child support. You understand? I bring his name up every time I had that conversation. You understand? Because I make it a point to drive it home that you putting this man on child support because you mad at him. But here's the thing. All because he don't want to be with, you don't want to be with him, or he had another woman, or whatever reason you can concoct in your brain. You said that, okay, so it wasn't Walter Scott. What's the brother's name that you're talking about? How long ago did it happen? Two white men killed him. How long ago did it happen? Two, 3 days. I haven't heard about it. Let me see. Let me go on Google real quick. This was in Charleston, right? I'm not seeing anything in Google. Hold on. Oh, it was in Georgia. Oh, I didn't hear about a brother in Georgia. I didn't hear about that. Let me see. Was the brother's name Ahmaud Arbery? Does that sound familiar? He was jogging in the neighborhood outside Brunswick. No, that says February 23rd. That wasn't it. I don't know. You have to send me the link, Trey. You just have to send me the link so I can know what you're talking about. Hold on. I think I might have found it. Oh, nah, it says February still.
Hey, did you know this?
I don't know. You have to send me the link. Because everything that I'm hearing about, everything I'm seeing online is talking about the brother that was killed jogging. Ahmaud Arbery. Said they chased him down and killed him. You just had to send me the. Okay, so that's the brother. All right, so I haven't heard about it, but this is definitely a terrible situation to happen. You understand? It's a terrible thing. You understand? And that's just another example of how you can prove that black people are the ones that are in the Bible. That's how you can prove that Hispanics are the ones that are in the Bible. Because who is that? Is this not oppression? That we're being murdered by another nation? You understand? Here's the thing, right? So if how can I put this? Okay, Khan. Okay. So yeah, so that is the brother. That's a terrible thing that happened to that brother, man. You understand? And it's a sad thing that black people still have to go through such oppression. You understand? The brother just spoke about this situation that's going on now, right here with Ahmaud Arbery. That just goes to show you that we are the ones that are being oppressed. We are the ones that are being hunted down and killed like cattle. You understand? I haven't read much of the story, but that seems to be what happened to the brother. They say they chased him down. You understand? The same way you chase down a deer in the woods. You understand? So, I mean, that's a terrible thing. And that's a prime example of who this Bible is talking about. You understand? And I'm going to read on. I'm going to get back to that scripture I was on where it says, "And thine eyes shall look and fail with longing for them all the day long. There shall be no might in thine hands." You understand? So not only are these people going to be oppressed, you understand? Not only is these people, children going to be taken from them, but these people are also going to have no recourse whatsoever. They're going to have no might. See, here's the thing, right? I'm going to tell you what I mean, what it means when it says might, right? So, there was a brother who got shot by a police officer. The brother's name was Philando Castile. You understand? The brother's name was Philando Castile, right? Philando Castile got shot by a police officer. He was unarmed, and he disclosed to the cop that he had a concealed weapons permit. And then the cop asked for his wallet, and as the brother was reaching for his wallet, you understand, the officer drew his weapon and fired on Philando Castile. You understand? And it happened on Facebook Live, and his rib was sitting right beside him in the driver's seat. The gun was drawn on her, and she wanted to administer care to the brother. You understand? But this police officer was so in fear of his life that he drew the gun on his rib that was filming on Facebook Live and refused to let her cover his wound that could have possibly saved this brother's life. You understand? And here's the thing. The cop that shot him was a Chinese man. He was a Chinese man. And so, we're in the midst of all the shootings that was going on with black people, all of our oppressors, all the white cops that shot black men, they all, they all of them didn't go to jail. They didn't get arrested. You understand? They didn't get handcuffed until weeks later in situations where they did get handcuffed. You understand? Got found not guilty in court or whatever. At the end of the day, none of those brothers got justice for their murders. You understand? And so, right after Philando Castile got shot, they arrested this Chinese man, this Chinese police officer, and the entire country of China spoke up and demanded that he be released. You understand? And they was going to give him the same fair shake that all the other white cops was getting in situations like this. You understand? So that is the might that is in his hand as a Chinese man. You understand? Afghanistan man, if he comes over here and suffers some sort of injustice, then he has the whole Afghanistan consult, and they go to the United Nations and all the stuff that's above my pay grade to even understand. But they have recourse. They have representation in the United Nations. You understand? So there's might in all of these people's hands. But let me ask you a question. Who doesn't sit at the table of the United Nations? I'll tell you who. The black man don't sit there. Not the black man in America. You understand? Donald Trump sends himself over there as our ruler. We are the slaves in this kingdom. You understand? We are the property of America. You understand? So there is no might. There was no might in the hands of the slaves whose children was taken from them on the auction block. And guess what? There's no might in these sisters' hands in 2020 that have their children taken from them. And they so oppressed and they so oppressed and destroyed that financially they can't even afford a lawyer. You understand? And not only that, but not only can they not afford a lawyer, but even if they could afford a lawyer, you understand? They don't even, you then got to find a lawyer that's going to give a damn enough to actually fight for your case. Because most lawyers, to get you to take a plea deal, that's just easy money to them. They just talk you through a plea deal. You understand? So even in all those cases, there's no might in a black woman's hands today that's dealing with this situation. You understand? Or the Hispanic brothers and sisters that's being locked up at the border. There's no might in their hands. They can't just tell the cop, nah, man, you're not going to do that. You can't do that. You can't take my child away. You understand? They don't have no might to do that. The slaves on the auction blocks, they couldn't do that. You understand? Because what would have happened to them if they did do it, they would be made an example out of. You understand? That's what would have happened. That's what happened to black people that tried to fight for their children on the auction blocks. They got hung from trees. You understand? Because you ain't even been sold. You don't even have a price yet. You understand? So guess what? Ain't nobody losing nothing by hanging you from that tree over there. Only thing we losing is a headache. That's the type of oppression that we talking about when we read these scriptures. And that's the kind of oppression that only happened to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? So we're going to read on. Verse 37. Let me see. Give me 1 second here. All right, so verse 37, right? It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whether Yahweh shall lead thee. So we still talking about these curses that the Lord said he was going to give to the children of Israel. You understand? A lot of people say, oh, the law is done away with. Well, if the law is done away with, then these curses should be lifted, right? What's the point in the law if we still getting punished by the law? You understand? What good is the law if we still getting punished? How, you understand? That don't even make sense. That's like you getting a whooping. While you're getting a whooping, you now believe that you don't have to listen to mommy and daddy, and you currently actively getting a whooping. That don't even make sense. It's like saying, all right, well, good thing I'm getting this whooping now. You know what I mean? And now I'm no longer, because of what Jerry told me down the street, now I don't have to listen to my mommy and daddy no more. I can still act up and I won't get no whoopings. But yet you still get whoopings. You understand? You can believe that all you want to. You're no different than the child that don't listen to their parents. They get whoopings all the time. You understand? And you think we're not getting whoopings. You understand? You think the Lord ain't sending down judgment. Then why are we filling up the prison? How many black parents? How many black parents are gonna have to raise a son to be 18, 19 years old just to bury him? How many black parents are gonna have to go through that before we realize that we need the Most High? How many? How many children are we gonna abort in the abortion clinic? You understand? How many? How many parents are gonna have to leave their children chasing after a crack addiction or a crystal meth addiction or a heroin addiction before we realize that we need the Most High? You understand? And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb and a byword. Now that's heavy. It says, and thou shalt become an astonishment. You understand? To be an astonishment means that, how can I explain this? It's like entertainment. You understand? When you see something so amazing, you just in awe, clapping your hands. You understand? When you see when Dr. J jumped from the free throw line and dunked the basketball, everybody that saw what was happening, you understand, was in astonishment. You understand? When people used to hear Whitney Houston sing, they used to be in astonishment to hear such a skillful vocalist. You understand? So let me ask you a question. Who is the world's entertainment today? Who dominates the world's entertainment? You understand? Who dominates in the world's entertainment? You understand? The basketball arena, the NFL. You understand? The soccer industry, boxing. You understand? MMA, UFC, hip hop, R&B, music in general. Period. You understand? A lot of your Caucasian artists. You understand? What a lot of people don't know is a lot of their music is being produced by black people. A lot of people don't even know this. A lot of that music is produced by black people. You understand? And sold to some lily white girl, and she goes and makes hundreds of millions of dollars off something that a black man wrote. You understand? We are the ones who dominate all of those industries, so we are the world's entertainment. You understand? Like T.I. made a song said, "My life is your entertainment." You understand? And it is entertainment for these other nations. Our whole life, our whole existence is just their entertainment. You understand? They want us to, even back there on the plantation. On the plantation, we was their entertainment. You had the Mandingo fights where you had this rich slave master. He had a slave that could knock a horse head off with his bare hands in one hit. And he want to fight him against the slave that this devil got 500 miles this way. You understand? They can plow a whole field without a horse or a mule or whatever. You understand? And they get them two slaves. They would put them in a room together, make like a makeshift boxing ring, and make them duke it out, hand-to-hand combat, fight to the death. You understand? Now today we call it UFC, United Fighting Championship, whatever it means, UFC. You understand? Boxing. You understand? All of these things, man. We are the entertainment. You understand? So when you read that scripture, it says, "And they shall be an astonishment." Well, who is the world's entertainment? You understand? And I'm going to read on. It says, a proverb. Okay. Now, this is where it's getting real heavy. You understand? When it says, and thou shalt become a proverb, meaning a proverb is like a wise saying. You understand? A saying that they, you know, when people say, closed mouth don't get fed is like a wise saying. You understand? Well, they have some about black people. You understand? Some of which is that black people are lazy. Black people don't want to get a job. Black people love fried chicken. You understand? Black people love watermelon. Black people don't take care of their kids. All the little sayings that they could come up with. You understand? All of those, that's what we become in the world. You understand? All black people are thugs, they're criminals. You understand? Or Hispanics, they're rapists and drug dealers. You understand? Or Native Americans, they savages, animals. They live in the jungle. You understand? That's what they say. These are these wise sayings that they say about us. You understand? And here's the thing, right? And if you read on, it says, and become a byword. A byword, you understand, is something other than what you are actually called. A byword. Like, to give you an example, if your name is Jim, and I call you a knucklehead, you understand? Your name is Jim, but I call you knucklehead. Then I'm calling you by a byword. That's not your name. That's not who you are. You understand? So I call you something other than who you are. So the black man in America is a Jew. He's an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's who you are. You understand? Mexican man, you an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar. That's who you are. You understand? So to call you anything other than who you are is a byword. Guess what? The Ghanaian man, he's not called by a byword because he's a Ghanaian. Afghan man, he's not called by a byword. He's called an Afghan. You understand? A Chinese man, he's not called by a byword. He's called a Chinese man. But black man, what are we called? You understand? We're called African American. One time we was called colored. You understand? And guess what? At one point in time we was just called Negroes. And guess what? Before that we was just called niggers. You understand? So we are called by bywords. A Mexican man, you from the tribe of Issachar. They call you Mexican. You understand? They call you spick, wetback. You understand? All of these things are bywords that was going to be placed on the children of Israel. And guess what? We famous for it. We've been wearing the same byword for 500 years, nigger. We've been wearing that same byword for 500 years. You understand? It says among all nations. So guess what? Here's another way you can tell that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians are the ones that are in this Bible. It says among all nations. So let me ask you this. What nation of people is called the same byword by every nation on the earth? Guess what? Guess what the white man calls the black man behind his back? A nigger. Guess what the Chinese man calls a black man behind his back? A nigger. Guess what the African man calls a black man behind his back? Well, he don't call him a nigger. He calls him a kata. You understand? A kata, which means cotton picker. You understand? Because the word nigger is a Latin word. Originally, it's spelled N-I-G-E-R. You understand? We pronounce it today Niger, but its accurate pronunciation is nigger, which is a Latin word which means black. You understand? And guess what? We are the ones that are called niggers. We are the ones that are called Negroes. You understand? Which is another word for black. You understand? And matter of fact, I'm gonna show you something real quick. While we on the topic of nigger.
It's in there.
Of niggers and Negroes. I'm gonna show you something, right?
Give me the remote, please. Put our $100.
Alright, so I'm gonna show you this right here. If you call yourself studying the Bible, you need to have one of these. This is a Zondervan Bible Dictionary. This one happens to be the Pictorial Bible Dictionary, but they also have a Zondervan Compact Bible Dictionary. But you want to have a Bible dictionary, and you want to look these things up. So if we look at Ham, right? So who is Ham? Ham is the so-called father, well, not the so-called, but he is the father of the so-called African, or what we call a African, a native to the African continent. You understand? You know, that is his land, his inheritance, and that went to him and his children. Where do you get them from? The Zondervan Bible Dictionary. There's not many bookstores that carry it. However, you can get them at some bookstores, but the easiest way to get it is just go on Amazon. Just go on Amazon.com, type in Zondervan Bible Dictionary. You can get the compact, you can get the pictorial, you understand, but it's an excellent tool to have if you want to study the Bible and actually understand the Bible. You understand? So Ham, right? We all know that Ham, like I said, is the forefather of who we call today Africans. So we're going to read about Ham in the Zondervan Bible Dictionary. It says Ham, Hebrew, come, and it means hot in Hebrew. So we're going to read Ham in the Bible Dictionary. It says, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races. So Ham is the progenitor of the dark races of the earth. You understand? So I guess what? I guess we might as well just stop there. Say black folk, we Africans, we done. Progenitor of the dark races, we a dark race. Bada bing, bada boom, done. Right? That's what we should do? Wrong. We should read on. So if we read on, it says, but not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, the Ethiopians, the Libyans, and Canaanites. You understand? So guess what? The Negroes, and it recognizes that the Negroes is a dark-skinned people, because guess what? Slaves were the Negroes. The slaves in America were Negroes. They plastered it all over the articles where they were selling us in the newspaper as Negroes. You understand? They still call us niggers today, which is Latin for Negro or black. You understand? So guess what? We are not Africans. So black people in America are not Africans. You understand? So if we're not Africans, then who are we? We are God's chosen people. The Negroes are God's chosen people. Because I'm going to show you something, right? So remember I said Negro and nigger and Niger are all the same word. It just means black. You understand? All of that is the same word. Right? And keep in mind, like I said, the word Niger, its actual pronunciation is nigger. You understand? So I'm going to read, matter of fact, I'm going to read the definition of nigger. Let me pull that up. second here.
Come here.
It's not that hard.
Don't do that no more. Put R. Put R. Don't do that.
Yes, I did. I know that. Oh!
All right, so this matter of fact, here's an article. How about this? Washington Post did an article about the word nigger.
It didn't stick.
You understand? I'm just gonna read the.
Whoever sticks the longest, mine's sticking.
All right, so this is. I'm gonna just read a couple parts of this article. It says nigger,
Put R.
the strange career of a troublesome word. You understand? So we're gonna read a little excerpt about it, right? Says let's turn first to etymology. So of course etymology is the study of words. Says nigger is derived from the Latin word for the color black, niger. You understand?
So I can stick.
So nigger, matter of fact, let's read on in this article. It says, according to the Random House Historical Dictionary of American Slang, it did not originate as a slur, but took on a derogatory connotation over time. Nigger and other words related to it have been spelled in a variety of ways, including nigga, nigga, nigger, and niggar. It says when John Rolfe recorded in his journal the first shipment of Africans to Virginia in 1619, he listed them as niggers, Negars. In 1689, inventory of an estate in Brooklyn, New York, made mention of an enslaved nigger boy, spelled Niggor. The Seminole lexicographer Noah Webster referred to Negroes as niggers, Negers. Currently, some people insist upon distinguishing nigger, which they see as exclusively as insult, from nigga, which they view as a term capable of signaling friendly salutation. I can't read this article without laughing. Salaki. I can't do it. But the point I wanted to bring out is that the word nigger comes from the Latin word niger. And they're all pronounced the same. It's just a different spelling of the same word. You understand? That's all it is. It's a different spelling of the same word. Now, if we turn to Acts chapter 13, verse 1, we'll find out that not only was the Jews dark race, was one of the dark races, but they was called niggers. You understand? And if you go to Acts 13 and 1, it says, now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called nigger. And you understand? So here's the deal, right? They was called nigger, or another term, Negroes. So guess what the Bible says about the Negroes? It says they not Hamites, they don't come from Africans, but the Jews were called niggers. You understand? So if you want to ask a question, okay, no sweat. So if the Jews was called niggers 2,000 years ago, is there still, you just asked, is there still, who gets called niggers today? They was calling the Jews niggers back then. Guess what? They call the Jews niggers today. They've been calling us niggers for 2,000 years. You understand? So guess what? The Jews are the niggers. You want to find the Jews? Just look for the niggers. You're going to find them. That's the Jews, the niggers. You understand? And guess what? The niggers are not children of Ham. You understand? The niggers are the children of the Lord. You understand? And here's the thing, man. You understand? The term nigger, right? It's like this. Like I read in that article, right? When you hear it says it tries to, there's some people that try to differentiate the connotation between nigger and nigga. You understand? The word nigger all it means is black. That's what it means. You understand? It comes from the Latin word niger, pronounced nigger. You understand? And it's been spelled all different kinds of ways. So guess what? The niggers, those are God's chosen people. You understand? The niggers, we God's chosen people, man. You understand? The Negroes, the same Negroes that were sold into slavery. And guess what? Deuteronomy 28:68, right? It says, and Yahweh shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto thee. So I'm going to break that down, right? It says, and Yahweh shall bring the children of Israel into Egypt. You understand? So if we look at a map, right? Let's just pull up a map, right? We're just going to not be stupid today. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to not be stupid. And we're going to go on the internet, right? We're going to go on the internet and we're going to use Google. And we're just going to keep it simple. We're just going to look up Israel. That's what we're going to ask Israel. Google. We're going to ask it for a map of Israel. All right, so my phone is tripping. Map of Israel, right? So we're just going to look up a map of Israel. Oh, matter of fact, this is perfect. This is perfect right here. All right, so here we go, right? So this right here is Israel. As you can see. See, we say Israel, see Jordan. All right, so let's zoom out just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right? Just going to zoom out just a little bit. Let me see if I can make it wide. All right, nope. All right, it's better like this. All right, so here we go. All right. All right, so I rotated it just a little bit. So you see Israel right there, right? See Israel. Now look at that. Egypt. Israel. Egypt. And what's in the middle of Israel and Egypt? Land. So what ship would we take to get to Egypt? What ship we taking? A starship? An airplane? What ship? What kind of ship are we taking? A land ship? I've never heard of those. I don't even think such a thing even exists ever in history. What kind of ship are we talking about? You understand? I'm going to show you something, right? We go to Exodus 20:2. We're going to get some understanding on what is this Egypt that the children of Israel was going to go to on ships. What is this Egypt that we speak of? Right? So we go to Exodus 20:2. It'll help us better understand what this Egypt is. It says, I am Yahweh thy power, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Okay, so we know that the Israelites were slaves in Egypt, right? You know, in the land that they call Egypt today. You understand? So that's where the Lord delivered us from, right? But here's the thing. We're going to read it again. It says, and I, Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. So that's what Egypt means. Because here's the thing, right? Egypt is actually not a Hebrew word. And back in the day, Egypt was not even called Egypt. Egypt, because see, here's the thing. Egypt is a Greek word. It comes from the Greek word Egyptos. So here's the thing. The Greeks did not exist before the Egyptians. The Egyptian empire was long before the Greeks. Was long before the Greeks. So the name comes from what we call Egypt today. Us calling it Egypt today, that's not even an Egyptian word. That's not even a Hebrew word. You understand? Egypt at one point in time was called Mitzrayim or Martazarium in the Hebrew. Martazarium was the forefather of the Egyptians. You understand? That was his land, and those are his children that built that empire. You understand? So Egypt is a Greek word which means bondage. It means bondage or house of bondage. You understand? So when we go back to Deuteronomy, we go back to Deuteronomy 28:68, we're going to read it with the understanding of what Egypt means. And it says, and Yahweh shall bring thee into bondage again with ships. So if you want to know how can you tell that black people are in the Bible, it's simple. All you got to do is ask somebody, who else on this earth, who on this earth went into slavery on ships? And what oftentimes I like to do is I like to ask people like this. I'll pull that scripture, break it down, and then I say, who other than black people went into slavery on ships? And I just ask them just to see them squirm a little bit, trying to actually figure it out. Like who was it? Was it the Chinese man? Was it somebody? It had to have been somebody. And then as they think about it, they realize nobody other than black people went into slavery on ships. And guess what? Hispanics went into slavery on ships. And guess what? Native Americans went into slavery on ships. You understand? Matter of fact, Hispanics, the Hispanic tribes, the tribe of Ephraim, that was the first tribe to actually go into slavery during the transatlantic slave trade. Christopher Columbus showed up over here and took a bunch of Taino Indians back to Europe in slavery. And they served slavery in Europe. You understand? And there were brothers and sisters that went into slavery in Europe that were Native American and Hispanic that eventually came back to the United States. You understand? So we were the ones that went into slavery on ships. You understand? I'm going to read on. It says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. It says we shall see it no more again. What is that talking about? What is it that the children of Israel would see no more again in this scripture? I want to see who has been paying attention to the breakdowns. What does that scripture mean? What is it talking about? When it says, thou shalt see it no more again, what is it talking about? What is it that we're not going to see again? Somebody got to answer for me. Who going to answer it? what are we talking about here? All right. So Thomas Brown says the homeland. Thomas Brown is correct. That's what it's talking about. It says our homeland. So let me ask you this question. So here's a follow-up question that you would ask a person. Say, so what other group of people? Not only did black people was the only people that went into slavery on ships, but what other group of people other than black people went into slavery on ships and have not been back to their land? You understand? Not only did black people go into slavery on ships, but we still ain't went back to Israel. We still here. They say slavery over, right? What we still doing here? You understand? We're still here because we've been destroyed. We're still here because we are destroyed as a people, man. We are still slaves in America. That little piece of paper they call the Emancipation Proclamation, that ain't changed nothing. The only thing it did was it went from slavery to the slave masters beating you back in to now it's just the police officers beating you back in. You understand? All right, so Thomas Brown said Hispanics and Native Americans. Hold on. Right, Hispanics and Native Americans, they still don't see their homeland. You understand? They still here in America, in North Central and South America. You understand? And guess what? They were taken from their homeland during slavery. They were taken from their homeland during the Assyrian Empire. And after their slavery ended under the Assyrian Empire, they traveled to North Central and South America. You understand? So they still haven't been back to their homeland. They still exiled from their homeland. You understand? All right, Shaw says, show ain't them fake Jews. Exactly. You understand? The fake Jew, he didn't go into slavery in no ship. You understand? He ain't served 400 years. He ain't been oppressed always. You understand? His children ain't getting taken from him and given to another people. You understand? Matter of fact, I'm going to show you some other curses, right? Verse 64. Hold on. All right, so verse 64 says, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. So here's the deal, right? So the Lord said he was going to scatter the children of Israel all over the earth. Guess what? You know, during Christ's days, the northern kingdom of Israel, the 10 tribes, they did not live in the land of Israel. You understand? They were somewhere else in the world. You understand? Which turned out to be what we call today North, Central, and South America. You understand? So the only tribes that lived in Israel when Yahushua walked the earth was Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And I mean, there was scatters of all the tribes that dwelled in Israel, but it was majority Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. And the majority of the 10 tribes went into Assyrian captivity and left Assyrian captivity and came to North, Central, and South America. You understand? See, all right, so verse 64 says, and Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people from one end of the earth even unto the other. So guess what? Israel is considered one end of the earth. That's a whole different side of the earth. And guess what? We scattered all the way to the other end of the earth. You understand? From one end all the way to the other. You understand? And guess what? And we worship other gods. And it says even wood and stone. So the wood and stone, that represents the two major religions that are followed by blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And the two biggest religions amongst blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is Christianity and Islam. Christianity, the wood represents Christianity because the symbol of Christianity is a wooden cross. You understand? When you look at Christianity and they go to church and they bow down, you see, I see it all the time where, I grew up in Catholic church. In Catholic church, you got the most obscene Christian crosses. You understand? For a brother in the UPK just to take a seat in a Catholic church would probably warp your mind. Just to see how disgusting it is. You understand? But in the Catholic church, they have these huge crosses made out of wood. Oftentimes they'll have them outside of the church. They'll have these big, huge crosses built. You'll see 3 of them. You understand? And they'll make 3 crosses out of wood, and they'll put them in. They have 1 real big one and 2 medium-sized crosses. You understand? And people bow down and worship these crosses in these Catholic churches. You understand? They kiss the crosses. They wear they got the rosaries around their neck, and they kiss the rosaries. You understand? Christians. A lot of Christians have a little cross, like how you see in the vampire movies, where the good guy got the little cross, and they stab the vampire in the heart with the little cross. They have, a lot of Christians have those. They kiss on them and stuff, and they worship these things. You understand? And then in Islam, what do? Guess what? In Islam, there's only one idol in Islam, and that's the Kaaba stone. You understand? And guess what? To have even one idol is against the Most High. That's the worship of another God. Christianity, man, forget about it. It's endless idols in the Christian church. You understand? They just create idols. I've seen it happen. At least in Catholicism anyway. They just come up with new idols. Oh, Mother Teresa, she's now an idol. So she's a saint now that people worship now. You understand? And so, I don't even know what Mother Teresa even did besides look old. You understand? I can't even remember who she was. I just remember the name. But, or even why they called her Mother Teresa. You understand? So it says, from one end of the earth even into the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known. So guess what? So like I was breaking down the stone. The stone is talking about the Kaaba stone. And the stone, in Islam, they have what's called a Hajj. And what a Hajj is at some point throughout your life as a Muslim, you have to go to Mecca, travel to Mecca on a pilgrimage, and you have to go to this big old courtyard with this thing in the middle, and you got to walk around the courtyard like 7 times or something like that, and you got to kiss this little hole in the wall that's got some type of meteorite from outer space in it. You understand? And they believe that one of the angels threw it out the sky or something like that. I don't know. You understand? Meteors hit the earth all the time. You understand? And they worship it, kiss it. You understand? And it's disgusting. You understand? I thought the Christian church was disgusting when everybody drank out the same cup. But, I guess it ain't as disgusting as the Kaaba stone. Because everybody in the world who is a Muslim has to kiss it. You understand? And, that's disgusting. But these are the two biggest religions in blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians.
No, you let him have
You
it.
understand?
You let him have it.
Salakia. I forgot all about Mother's Day. You understand? Is it this coming Sunday or this past Sunday? When is, I have to Google that. When is Mother's Day?
Boy, you better be quiet.
See, Mother's Day.
Nobody told you to smack him. Too bad. Tell you about his.
May 10th is Mother's Day. So I think it's this coming Sunday. Salakia. Yeah, this coming Sunday is Mother's Day. You understand? And here's the thing, right? Mother's Day is not in the Bible. You understand? Mother's Day is not in the Bible. You understand? And here's the thing, right? The thing about Mother's Day is that you are worshiping another God when you celebrate Mother's Day. And you call yourself a Christian, a believer of God. You claim to say you love God, and you're all about God, 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 and Gotti, Gotti, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. You know, bashkala, 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 right? But yet, you celebrate birthdays, you celebrate the white man's holidays, you celebrate Mother's Day. I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump rushed to open up the country just because he knows that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians is going to go out here and spend all this stimulus money that he let them borrow, you understand, and go out here and spend hundreds of millions and billions of dollars for Mother's Day. You understand? And here's the thing, you know, you already hearing the stories about the nail salons and the hair salons and you understand? I even hear my ribs complaining about nail salons and hair salons. I'm like, God, good night. You understand? Like, sisters has got to be pretty. You know, I ain't mad at you. You understand? But, you understand? But all of these holidays, you think you honoring your mother, you're really dishonoring your mother. And you're really putting your mother in danger by celebrating Mother's Day. You understand? You putting your mother in danger by doing that. If you love your mother, you should tell your mother, Ma, I ain't buying you nothing for Mother's Day. I'm not celebrating Mother's Day because I love you. And I don't want nothing to happen to you by sitting here worshiping you like a god. You understand? Because here's the thing. That's one of what the Christians call the 10 Commandments. That's the first commandment. I am the Lord thy God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. And guess what? You about to go out here and celebrate Mother's Day. You putting all type of gods before the Most High. You understand? You putting Satan before the Most High. You worshiping your mother like a god. You understand? And guess what? Here's the thing. You understand? The Lord allows people to be raised up and puffed up just so he can destroy you. You understand? And here's the thing. You got a lot of women out here that's going to be celebrating Mother's Day. And their way of celebrating Mother's Day is going to be by buying themselves some flowers, you understand, or sitting around sad and depressed because none of their baby daddies thought highly enough about them to take them out to eat this Sunday, or something like that. You know what I mean? Or buy them a card. So you're gonna have all type of sisters that's just gonna be depressed and sad because somebody's not worshiping them like a god. You understand? And so Mother's Day is a disgusting thing, man. You understand? The Lord said that I am the Lord thy power. You understand? You should have no other gods before me, man. And he meant that when he said that. You understand? He gave an order to do that. You understand?
Smack him.
So here's the thing, right? All in the Christian church celebrate Mother's Day. You understand? It's gonna be some brothers that's gonna get weak, man. You understand? They mama just sometimes when you're in the truth, your mama start applying that pressure. Like your mama apply that pressure when you come in the truth. You understand? Like, you know, she'll be like, you know, baby, we going out to eat on Sunday. You know, if you want to come on, I know you're in the Israelite group and all, and I know you don't celebrate, but just come on and have a whole meal with your mama. You understand? She gonna lay it on thick. You got to be strong, huh? You understand? Because I'm going to tell you, eventually they just quit asking. You understand? Eventually they just don't even want to hear you give the breakdown. They just quit. Don't ask him nothing about no birthdays, because the only thing he's going to do is pull the Bible out. And make you feel bad for it. You understand? They're not even going to bring it up after a while. But you got to be strong, man. You understand? You got to be strong, huh? And that temptation is going to be thick, man. And listen, I'm going to tell you something. The spirit behind these holidays, this is the danger that you fall into in the spirit behind these holidays. Because the spirit that's working during these holidays is not the spirit of loving your mother. You understand? The spirit that gets put out is the spirit to rob your brother. The spirit to murder your brother. You understand? The spirit to murder your sister. The spirit to murder your baby mama. You understand? That's the spirit that comes out on the earth during these holidays, man. And you have to fight that. You understand? You have to fight just even the scent of celebrating Mother's Day. You understand? You gotta be like, you know, your mama be like, oh, you know, she try to sneak it in on you. You know what I mean? Like, might be like, you know, we all cooking breakfast at the house on Sunday. You know, make sure you come through and get you a plate. You understand? And you show up and it's Mother's Day brunch and you like, damn. You understand? You got to be on top of that. You understand? Because any hint, any sniff, what I would do is on Mother's Day, if you struggle with not celebrating Mother's Day, just I can't tell you, I would just block my mama's phone for that day. You understand? I'd block her phone. You understand? I wouldn't, you know what I mean? I wouldn't show no extra attention to the ribs, no extra gratitude. To stay as far as you can away from that spirit. You understand? Because that spirit that drives that holiday is the same spirit that causes a brother to murder another brother. You understand? That's what these demons is out to accomplish on Mother's Day. They not out here trying to make sure that some woman who done had children has a beautiful day and thanks for being a mother. You understand? But then on Father's Day they say, well, I'm the mother and the father. You understand? The thing is that same spirit that's pushing you, that's urging you to celebrate Mother's Day, is the same spirit that's pushing for a brother to kill another brother or a sister or his children. You understand? Brother Thomas got the right idea. Go fishing on that day. Damn right. You understand? Play Madden all day. You understand? Go to the gym all day. You understand? Stay away from anything that even eat oodles or noodles all day. You understand? Don't even pick, you know what I mean? Don't even put no flowers in the house that day. You understand? So you got to stay away from that spirit of Mother's Day. You understand? Because that spirit is pushing somebody to kill another brother or sister. You understand? That's the spirit that comes out on the earth during these holidays, during the white man's holidays, especially Christmas. My goodness. You know how many brothers and sisters get robbed on Christmas? You understand how many people, how many brothers and sisters get killed on Christmas and the 4th of July? You understand? You got to be strong, man. You understand? And if you feel weak, call a brother. You understand? If you need counsel, if you're trying to figure, my mama trying to bamboozle me into celebrating Mother's Day, call a brother. You understand? And we'll help you deal with it. You understand? Because they, you know, our mothers in the world, man, you know, they looking up to Mother's Day. Ain't gonna be sad when they find out they little sweet little son, they sweet little Timmy. You understand? Ain't celebrating no more Mother's Day. He ain't even call his mama. You understand? They gonna come at you. Them demons is gonna come out your mama. They gonna come out and straight at you. You understand? You got to be strong, huh? You understand? Because you doing her a favor. You doing your mother a favor by not celebrating Mother's Day, man. You understand? The Most High, you know, it was always explained to me as a young man coming into the truth that the Most High is a gangster, man. The Most High is a gangster. He ain't playing about what he said, man. You understand? He said there shall be no other gods before me. You understand? He meant that. There shall be no other gods before me, man. You understand? And you celebrating your Mother's Day, you understand? The Lord, if the Lord wants to, he could take away every mama that's celebrated this coming Sunday, if he want to. You understand? Because guess what? You understand? When we came out of Egypt, the angel of death came down to see about them Egyptians. And the Lord gave us an order with that blood with that Passover lamb. He said to put the blood over our doorposts. You understand? Well, now, because of what Yahushua did, when Yahushua was on the earth, his blood was laid down. You understand? And so now that blood that we need to be under is no longer the blood of a lamb. It's now the blood of Yahushua. And the way we make sure we covered under that blood is with these laws, statutes, and commandments. The Lord sending the death angel out right now. You understand? Killing blacks and Hispanics in record numbers. You understand? Don't celebrate Mother's Day, man. Don't let your mother be one of them. You understand? Educate your mother. You understand? It's no different than a birthday. You're absolutely correct. You know, Thomas says it's no different from a birthday. There are gods on that day. You're right. You understand? All of it is satanic. You understand? All of it goes against the Most High. You understand? Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull a scripture real quick and show you what the Most High think about. What do you think about feast days and how I mean, not feast days, but what do you think about Mother's Day? Because, you know what I mean, because see, the thing is, we so confused because of what's taught in the Christian church. You know, the Christian church, that's why we even celebrate Mother's Day. It's huge in the Christian church. Mother's Day, Easter, Mother's Day nigh unto Easter Sunday in the Christian church. You understand? You go out to eat somewhere on Mother's Day and it seems like everything jam-packed, all the churches jam-packed because it's Mother's Day. You understand? It's Mother's Day, man. Everybody's celebrating the Mother's Day. Eating all the pork, shrimp, crab, and the lobsters. Well, guess what? This ain't gonna be one of them Mother's Days where all the restaurants are jam-packed. You understand? So our oppressor trying to hurry up and open this country up because his empire is hemorrhaging money by the second. You understand? His empire is hemorrhaging. Listen, oil, the price of oil used to be, I might be wrong about the numbers, but oil used to be over $100 a barrel. You understand? The price of oil now has gone down to less than $40 a barrel. I mean, not Salaki, to negative $40 a barrel. Meaning that according to the market, if you want to buy oil, they have to pay you to take it. They have to pay you $40 to take a barrel of oil. You understand? And I bet you they ain't opening that market up for black people. Because I'd buy that. Send me all of it. First come, first serve, I take all of it. You understand? That's what's going on right now, man. The world is hemorrhaging money because we couldn't celebrate Easter. You understand? Correct me if I'm wrong, but we couldn't celebrate Valentine's Day either, could we? I might be wrong about Valentine's Day. Either way it goes, we couldn't celebrate. America couldn't celebrate Easter. Now we can't really celebrate Mother's Day. You understand? So here's the thing: these holidays is how our oppressor stays filthy rich off of the money of blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You understand? Because the way these businesses work, the way these big, huge businesses work, is they make money seasonally. They make their fortunes seasonally. So, yeah, they might make a decent profit throughout a year's time, but majority of the profits that's made in all of our oppressors' companies is made during their holidays, during Valentine's Day, during Mother's Day, during Father's Day, during 4th of July, can you imagine how much beer gets sold for the 4th of July? There's a company in South Carolina. I'm not sure if it's in Georgia, but I know it's in South Carolina. It's called Zach's Fireworks, and Big Zach's Fireworks. And if you ever come down 85 South or 85 North, there's a big yellow building on the side of the highway that has big red letters on it that says Big Zach's Fireworks. That's what looks like a firecracker on the side of the building. And this company, they're only, now they have stores sprinkled throughout the whole state because, fireworks are legal in South Carolina, to shoot year round. But every 4th of July and every New Year's, they put out these little stands at all the gas stations. And this one business makes all of its money just during those 2 times throughout the year. 4th of July and New Year's. And that's where they make the bulk of their profit. You understand? They have those stores open only because some people like shooting fireworks throughout the year. So they keep it open just so people can do what they do. But on the 4th of July and New Year's, that's where they make all of their fortune. You understand? Just 2 weeks worth of working and you make a year's salary. You know what I'm saying? Enough to build a whole corporation off of it. You understand? So all of these holidays that our oppressors set up, it's set up for commercial reasons. It's to make money. You understand? And 97% of that money comes from blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. So now we in a time where a lot of that money is not going back into that economy. You understand? A lot of that money is going into toilet paper and Lysol and, you understand, and face masks and stuff. You understand? They making all the money right now. And, you understand, and, people seeing all that money. So they want to open back up the economy, you understand, and guess what? Now all the nail salons is, oh man, that's the most disgusting part about all this. The Chinese man, he the one started it. And now he the first one to get the money. The Chinese man, the first one to get the money. Got all the nail salons opened up and they got lines of women around the block waiting to get their feet done. You understand? Lines waiting around the block. You understand? Meanwhile, over in China, a black man can't sit down at a goddamn McDonald's. Can't even go have a cheeseburger. You understand? A black man can't go into the mall. They will escort you out the mall, and if in handcuffs if you refuse. In China right now. You understand? And we so quick to give them people our love, man. You understand? We need the Most High, man. We need the men in the ISUPK, man. You understand? Because we listening to here's the sad part about black leadership. I haven't heard not one black leader say anything about what we need to be doing as a people other than Commander General Yohana. Our black leaders is trying to teach you how to stay home. They just get on YouTube like stay home and stay safe, everybody. Just stay home, blase, blase, blah. But they're not telling you nothing else, man. They're not telling you, you understand, what we need to be doing as a people. How we need to come together. You understand? And with that, I'm gonna go ahead and end the class. We're at ISUPK. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for a new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to share themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18 and 21. Malachi 3 and 8 through 10 means tenth in Hebrew. Ma'ashur. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department or teacher. Priest fund. Free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocation. The upcoming holy convocation, we have the Feast of First Fruits, which is April 17, 2020 at sundown. You understand? Argument Aquabi. Remember to check the bulletin board in the hallway. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and war scarf. And with that, shalom, Israel.